I'm going to start is mole concept and stoichiometry. Okay, this is a numerical based topic. Now don't worry, you must be thinking numericals will be difficult. No, these numericals are very easy. You do very tough numericals in mathematics. All the numericals are based on unitary method. Only the terms and the simple laws you have to remember. Okay, so we will start with some laws which are laws followed by or obeyed by gases. Okay, so what is gas? Gas is a state of matter. Okay, now we know that according to Dalton also, matter is made up of small particles, tiny particles, which are called atoms. So Dalton told these atoms are the smallest particles which take part in chemical reaction. These atoms combine and form compound atoms which we call as a molecule. Okay. Later on, some other laws also have come up. Last year you have studied about Boyle's law, Charles' law. Okay. So when you studied about Boyle's law and Charles' law, we came across certain variables. There are certain variables of state which are volume, temperature and pressure. Now, what are gas laws? Actually, gas laws are analysis of behavior of gases. Okay. Now, these gas laws are obeyed by all the gases when a change is subjected to these variables volume, temperature and pressure. Now, these variables are interrelated. If one of the variable is changed, it will affect the other two variables also. They will also either get increased or decreased. Okay. So this is how these variables are interrelated. According to Boyle's law, what we have studied, Boyle's law, volume of enclosed mass of a dry gas is inversely proportional to pressure provided temperature remains constant. So when temperature is constant, volume is inversely proportional to pressure where temperature is constant. Okay. And this is what? This is Boyle's law. So we came up to a conclusion P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. This is expression for Boyle's law. Okay, this was done in 9th standard. And second was Charles' law. According to this, if pressure remains constant, then volume of an enclosed mass of dry gas is directly proportional to temperature. So, volume is directly proportional to temperature where pressure is constant. Okay. Now, this year you are going to learn two more new laws. Out of that, the first one is Gay-Lussac's law. Okay. So, now we are going to see what is Gay-Lussac's law. In 1805, Gay-Lussac found relationship between the reacting gases and their products under similar conditions of temperature and pressure. Okay. So let us see one example and then we learn what is Gay-Lussac's law actually. Let us suppose hydrogen gas is combining with chlorine gas. Okay. So hydrogen is a gas which is combining with chlorine, which is also a gas, and hydrogen chloride gas is formed. Okay. Now look at the molecules here. One molecule of hydrogen, one molecule of chlorine and two molecules of hydrogen chloride. This law relates to volumes of gases. Okay. So we write with respect to volume, if we write, this is taken as one volume. Okay, H2, one volume. This is Cl2, so this is also one volume. Okay, so one volume of hydrogen combines with one volume of chlorine and gives out how many volumes of hydrogen chloride gas? Since 2 is written here, 2 volumes of hydrogen chloride gas. Is this clear? One volume of hydrogen gas combines with one volume of chlorine gas and gives out 2 volumes of hydrogen chloride gas. Okay. Now see the volumes 1, 1 and 2. So what is the ratio? 1:1:2. So this is a simple whole number ratio. These all are whole number and simple smallest numbers. So there exists a simple whole number ratio. And with the help of this, we can discuss Gay-Lussac's law. So what is Gay-Lussac's law? Look at here. These are reacting gases and this is their gaseous products. So according to Gay-Lussac, whenever gases combine, they do so in volumes. Whenever gases combine, they do so in volume, and which bears a simple whole number ratio to each other and to the volume of the product if it is gaseous, provided temperature and pressure remains constant. That means that is a condition, because if temperature will change, volume will also change, okay? Because volume increases with temperature increase and decreases with decrease in temperature, directly proportional. If pressure changes, volume will also change inversely. So the pressure and temperature should be constant or should be kept unchanged. So what is Gay-Lussac's law? Once again, whenever gases combine, they do so in volume, which bear a simple whole number ratio to each other and to the volume of the product if gaseous, provided temperature and pressure of the reacting gases and the product remains constant. Okay. Now coming to the term volume, we are saying they combine in volume. Okay. Here the meaning of volume is a known volume, It can be any volume. Okay. There is not a fixed number. One volume may be 1 ml or 50 ml. But when one volume of hydrogen is 50 ml, then one volume of chlorine will also be 50 ml only. Okay. So this volume term is related to a known volume. Okay. So if we say one volume of hydrogen means 50 cubic centimeter, then one volume of chlorine will also be 50 cubic centimeter. Okay, this is hydrogen and this is chlorine. And what will be two volumes of HCl? It will be 2 into 50. So this will be 100 cubic centimeter. Okay, so 50, 50 and 100. 50 is to 50 is to 100, 1 is to 1 is to 2. Okay, so there exists a simple whole number ratio. Another thing, this Gay-Lussac's law is only applicable for gaseous products. If there are two products and one of the product is gas and another one is liquid, then it will be applicable only on the gaseous product. On the liquid product, it won't be applicable. That I will explain you with the help of a example. So let us see some more examples of Gay-Lussac's law, and then we will see how it is applicable to gases and not applicable to other state of matter. Some more examples of Gay-Lussac's law. See, sulfur dioxide gas combines with oxygen gas and forms sulfur trioxide gas. If you look at the balanced chemical equation, 2SO2 plus O2 is equal to 2SO3. All are gases, the gases reactants and the one and the only gaseous product. Okay. We can also write it like this: 2 sulfur dioxide. This is only for understanding. You can write like this and get the ratio. It's okay. This is for better understanding. 2 SO2 are there. So this is 1 SO2, one molecule, another molecule. Okay. So 2 SO2, SO2 plus O2, SO3, SO3. Okay. Now here you see how many volumes? 2 volumes. Here 1 volume and here 2 volumes. So what is the ratio over here? 2 is to 1 is to 2, which is a simple whole number ratio. Got it? Another example I am giving. Some more examples may be there in your book. Some extra examples. Nitrogen gas combines with hydrogen gas and forms ammonia. We all know this equation. N2 plus 3H2 is equal to 2NH3. This is gas, and this is also gas. So it is applicable on that. Now 1 volume of nitrogen, 3 volumes of hydrogen, and 2 volumes of ammonia. So what is the ratio? 1:3:2. This is what Gay-Lussac law. Very simple thing. Okay. Now, as I told you, this law is applicable only on the gaseous product, not on other. So let us see an example. If methane gas combines with oxygen and forms carbon dioxide and water. Okay. Now see, state of matter over here. Methane is a gas, oxygen is gas, carbon dioxide gas. Now here water in liquid state. Okay. If it is like this, then 1 volume, 2 volume, and 1 volume, and here it is not applicable. This is nil. You don't have to write. So what is the ratio? 1:2:1. So applicable only on the gaseous product. So in the numericals also, equation based questions will be there. Then you have to look at the state of matter and calculate only for gases. Let us take some small example, 1 or 2 numericals, and see how to solve these numericals. Now we will solve some problems based on Gay-Lussac's law. Okay, for this you require your textbook and notebook. In your textbook, immediately after Gay-Lussac's law, some solved examples are there, and then some questions are there with the heading practice problems. So it is written practice problems 1. Okay, so practice problem 1, I am solving the first one. I am not writing the word problem on the board. I will read. You all look into your textbook and then we will solve the numerical. It is given CH4 plus 2O2 is equal to CO2 plus 2H2O. This equation is given, and then 80 cubic centimeter of methane is mixed with 200 cubic centimeter of oxygen at room temperature and pressure. The mixture is ignited when it reacts as illustrated by the equation above. Calculate the composition of the resulting mixture on cooling. Okay, this is the question. So now what we have to do? First write the equation. State of matter is written. Methane is a gas, oxygen is a gas, carbon dioxide is a gas. Now with 2H2O, it is written L. Now the reason behind writing L means liquid, that we are calculating the resulting mixture composition on cooling. So on heating these two, water will be in the form of water vapor, but on cooling it will turn into liquid state. As we know, Gay-Lussac's law is not applicable on liquid products, or it is applicable only on gaseous products. Okay. So first we write what is given. Given methane 80 cubic centimeter, oxygen 200 cubic centimeter. And what is the question? Composition of the resulting mixture. Now what is resulting mixture? Resulting mixture will be made up of the produced carbon dioxide. So you have to calculate how much carbon dioxide is produced and how much oxygen is left behind, because 80 cubic centimeter methane is burnt in oxygen and we don't know how much oxygen is required. So the amount of oxygen given is more than required. Okay. So out of this 200, some amount will be used by this 80 cubic centimeter of methane and remaining will be left, which we have to find. So the leftover or unused oxygen and the produced carbon dioxide will be the resulting mixture. So let us solve this sum. Now here, as according to Gay-Lussac's law, we can write CH4 here 1 volume. Okay, because only one CH4 is there. Here 2O2, so 2 volumes. And 1 CO2 is produced, so 1 volume. Okay, so 1 volume of methane combines with 2 volumes of oxygen and produces 1 volume of carbon dioxide. Okay, for convenience to write the statement, you can write one volume as 1 cubic centimeter, since here the unit given is cubic centimeter. If it is given in ml, then you can write ml. Only this volume, as I said, volume means some known volume. Okay, so we can write 1 cubic centimeter, here 2 cubic centimeter, and here 1 cubic centimeter. Actually, looking at these values also you can give the answer, but it is not oral, okay, because it requires double of its volume. Let us start first to calculate how much oxygen is required. Okay, so the first one we'll see 1 cubic centimeter methane requires how much oxygen? 2 cubic centimeter. 2 cubic centimeter oxygen. Therefore, how much? 80. 80 cubic centimeter methane requires how much? Okay, see here. 1 cubic centimeter methane requires 2 cubic centimeter of oxygen. We got it from the standard balanced equation. Okay. Therefore, 80 cubic centimeters, since 80 is given. Otherwise, if any other number, that number you have to write. So, 80 cubic centimeter methane requires how much oxygen? That's just a simple cross multiplication. Most of the children have a habit of putting a question mark over here. You never put a question mark like that. Okay, you have to calculate over here. So, what we will do? We write this 2 into 80 upon 100. This will go into the denominator. So, 80 multiplied by 2, it will come 160 cubic centimeter. So, 1 double, so 80, so double is 160 cubic centimeter. How much oxygen was given? 200 cubic centimeter was given, out of which only 160 cubic centimeter is required by this 80 cubic centimeter of methane. So, how much is unused or excess? So, excess, you can write unused or excess, any term, oxygen is 200 minus 160, so it will be 40 cubic centimeter. This much oxygen is left. Oxygen. Okay. So, this is one part of the resulting mixture. What else we have to find? How much carbon dioxide is produced. So, the second calculation is amount of carbon dioxide produced. So, second one we will calculate. Now, see here. Always you start with methane. Okay. Because methane is giving this carbon dioxide. 1 cubic centimeter methane gives 1 cubic centimeter carbon dioxide. So, 80 will give how much? Obviously, you will write 80, but you have to write the statement and show the calculation. So, we have to calculate how much carbon dioxide is produced. Now, see, 1 cubic centimeter methane gives out 1 cubic centimeter carbon dioxide. So, 80 cubic centimeter will give 80, obviously, but we have to calculate. So, the second one is amount of carbon dioxide. So, 1 cubic centimeter methane gives 1 cubic centimeter carbon dioxide. Therefore, 80 cubic centimeter methane gives how much carbon dioxide? So, 1 into 80 upon 1 is equal to 80 cubic centimeter carbon dioxide. So, now we have got the answer. What is the resulting mixture? So, you will write composition of resulting mixture. Composition of resulting mixture. What is the resulting mixture? Unused or excess oxygen. Excess oxygen is 40 cubic centimeter and what else? Carbon dioxide is 80 cubic centimeter. So, this is how you have to calculate. Let us do the next sum. Next numerical is practice problem 1, second one. 2C2H2 plus 5O2 is equal to 4CO2 plus 2H2O. What is C2H2? It is acetylene. Acetylene, organic gas. Okay. So let us see the question. 100 cubic centimeter of acetylene is mixed with 300 cubic centimeter of pure oxygen and ignited when the reaction takes place as illustrated above. Calculate the composition of resulting mixture. Same kind of question. When acetylene is heated with oxygen, carbon dioxide and water vapor comes, on cooling it will turn into liquid. So law will not be applicable. So you have given acetylene 100 cubic centimeter. Okay. Oxygen 300 cubic centimeter. Once again, this given acetylene requires how much oxygen is not the exactly given volume of oxygen. So the excess of oxygen and carbon dioxide produced. These are the result composition of resulting mixture. So we will see what is the resulting mixture. First, how much oxygen is required. 2 cubic centimeters. So here 2C2H2, so 2 volume, which is written as 2 cubic centimeter. 5O2, so 5 volumes, 5 cubic centimeter. 4CO2, so 4 volumes and 4 cubic centimeter. Now we will use these values, okay, with that unit. See here, 2 cubic centimeter gives oxygen, requires oxygen is 5. 2 cubic centimeter acetylene requires 5 cubic centimeter oxygen. Therefore, 100 given is 100 cubic centimeter acetylene requires how much oxygen? So in this way you have to calculate 5 into 100 divided by 2. So now 2 ones are, 2 fives are and 0. So 50s are, 5 into 50 will be 250 cubic centimeter. So out of 300, 250 oxygen will be used. So how much is left or excess oxygen? 300 minus 250 is equal to 50 cubic centimeter. So this is will be part of the resulting mixture. Now how much carbon dioxide is produced? Let us see. 4. Okay. So 2 cubic centimeter acetylene gives 4 cubic centimeter of carbon dioxide. Therefore 100 cubic centimeter acetylene will give how much carbon dioxide? So 4 into 100 by 2, 2 ones are and 2 twos are. So it will be 200 cubic centimeter carbon dioxide. Okay, this is oxygen. So what is the answer? Excess oxygen is 50 cubic centimeter and carbon dioxide produced is 200 cubic centimeter. So this will be the answer. Next numerical is from practice problem 2. Okay, first one. Nitrogen and oxygen gas react as illustrated by the equation below. What is the equation? N2 plus O2 is equal to 2NO. NO is nitric oxide. Calculate the volume of reacting gases required to produce 1400 cubic centimeter of nitric oxide. So let us see what is the question. Nitrogen and oxygen combines and produces nitric oxide. What is the amount of nitric oxide produced? 1400. For that, how much nitrogen is required and how much oxygen is required? So let us write what is given. So given is volume of nitric oxide produced. How much nitric oxide is produced? 1400 cubic centimeter. And what is your task? Volume of nitrogen required, volume of oxygen required. These are the two questions. So let us start with volume of nitrogen required. Before that, see here, N2 only 1, so 1 volume, O2 volume 1, 1 volume, 2NO, so 2 volumes. Similarly, like earlier sums, 1 volume we can write 1 cubic centimeter. So here also 1 cubic centimeter and here 2 cubic centimeters. So first we will see the amount of nitrogen required. 2 cubic centimeter of nitric oxide requires 1 cubic centimeter of nitrogen. Okay. Therefore, 1400 cubic centimeter nitric oxide requires. 1 into 1400 divided by 2. So 2 ones are 7s are 0, 0. So how much? 700 cubic centimeter nitrogen is required. So this is the amount of nitrogen required. Now since it is 1 cubic centimeter, this is also 1 cubic centimeter. Obviously oxygen will be 700 only. But still you have to show volume of oxygen required or amount of oxygen required. 2 cubic centimeter of nitric oxide requires 1 cubic centimeter of oxygen. Therefore, 1400 cubic centimeter of nitric oxide requires 1 into 1400 divided by 2. Once again, it will be 700 cubic centimeter of oxygen. So, this is very simple sum. Okay. So, next, second sum, you all try yourself and tell the answer.